out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California has won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, Radford pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark.
Hey, how are you? Good morning. Everybody's doing well. Let me get rid of Susanna here if I can get her. Yeah, hang on here. We're having some issues with stuff. There we go. How's everybody doing this morning? Well, let's see here. There we go. There we go. You got to love it. You got to love it when the studio decides to stop working right when we start the show. How is everybody doing this morning? Everything is frozen on my end. Hang on just a second as we start a brand new week. Great job getting back from. Just love getting back and having everything just stop working as soon as we get in. But we're going to talk about the sports weekend coming up here. And we're going to, I don't know what's going on here, but nothing seems to be functioning properly. And so we're going to get out and we're going to come back. Hang on just a second, everyone. This morning. Hey, there we go. The good news is I've kind of figured out how to troubleshoot this thing. Good morning. How's everybody doing? We got a lot to get to, man. I'm back from the Greenbrier. Not a good weekend for Radford basketball. I don't think there's any way to sugarcoat it. I mean, my Lord. Put up the Greenbrier, played two teams from the Horizon. Got beat up pretty bad Saturday and then blew a 17-point lead with 6 minutes to go yesterday. So, yeah. Good morning, Opal. How are you? Everybody's doing great. Good morning, Prometheus. Yeah, we're going to get into that. Jason, good morning. all the folks at Family Fencing. Paul, how are you? Stephen? Oh, Stephen, your jackets. Ooh. Good win, but nonetheless, oof. Oof. And Morris from the Prometheus. Hey, there you go. Prometheus, you got a shout out. Medicinal medicine show. To the free-flowing cannabis leaves of Palm Coast. BDST is live and online. He's back. Morning, Morris. And thank you so much for your T-shirt order. Thanks for everybody. We hooked up a lot of people with their shirts. Sent out the 2 mailers already. And let me know. It's going to end up being 28 shipped, by the way. If you want one shirt, went up $1 because I tried to mail the others and ended up costing me a little more than 28. So I'll just round it off to 28. That's one shirt. I think I can get 2 in there. We'll see. Morris, you're going to be my example because we're sending it to you we're sending you a couple shirts. So we'll see. But a lot to get to. Tech, Florida State, kind of a nondescript effort by Tech. Let's just say it the way it is. They ran the ball well. They couldn't get in the end zone. Another ho-hum performance from Kyron Drones in the passing game. And, boy, we got to talk about the weekend that went on with the whole James Franklin situation. A lot of it very comical because let me just preface this by saying that today is the action day, by the way. Like today's the day that if there's going to be an announcement, which I think there will be, today will be the day that we find out James Franklin is the new head football coach at Virginia Tech. I know Virginia Tech has given a deadline. They're getting very frustrated. He has been their number one guy really since they met with him for the first time. That hasn't changed despite what showed up on game day. And because it shows up on game day and Pete Thamel's finally getting caught up with what, we and other local media like Tech Sideline, all the Tech sites, newspapers have been telling you, it shows up on game day. Oh, now it has to be true. No, Jimmy Sexton put that out there. He and Thamel, Sexton's got it in with a lot of these reporters. That's how it works. That's where all the information comes from. I don't know why that's a hard thing for people to grasp, but apparently it is. The coaches themselves aren't putting any information out there. It's all from the agent because they work for the coach. James Franklin has delayed a decision on Virginia Tech because Virginia Tech is not his first choice. People may not want to hear that, and I got a lot of pushback, but that's fact. They wanted to see about Florida State potentially being maybe someplace. That's where he would like to go. There are other places. He was shut down at Auburn. He was shut down at Arkansas. So the appearance of it, from what I have been told, is it's going to look like he's going to settle in his own mind to come to Virginia Tech. He's had 3 weeks to get ahead of the game, right? But I think it's going to happen today. Correct, Prometheus. And what was amazing, there was not one word reported on Saturday that was any different than anything we've talked about for the last month. But because it shows up there, then, hey, now, see, told you. What? I've said he was coming to Tech back on October the 20th. I've got the Facebook post, the receipt, so we can go back and watch the show here. Now, I did say early last week, or maybe it was late the previous week, I thought maybe the chances had lessened because I knew how aggressive he was being from what I was told. And we got a little bit of a shocking bit of other coaching news we got to get into. We're going to talk to Phil Elmassian about all this coming up. But I knew he was really trying to get a hold of the Arkansas job, which we talked about. And I knew he really, really wanted to get involved with Florida State. Well, now they're 5-5. I don't know if they're going to renege on firing Norvell or not. Maryland reneged on firing Loxley. All right, they decided they're going to bring him back. That was announced, and then he's coming back. And I think what's happening with these schools, they're realizing there's not going to be a lot of great candidates. And I don't think these jobs are going to fill the way they hope. Now, my immediate take, and I'm going to keep the same take I've had, James Franklin will turn the talent level of this roster over immediately. I'll be very curious to see the kind of staff that he brings. He's the kind of coach that needs a very strong staff. He's kind of a micromanager type of coach. He's got his fingers on everything, which, you know what, if you're going to be making, however many millions, 8 to 10 million, whatever it might be, he's guaranteed at least 10 million because that's what he's going to make. Because Penn State, that's what the buyout says. So Penn State will pay. If his new deal, if he does announce for Tech today, or that starts to leak around midday, which I expect it to, we'll find out how much he would make per year at Tech, and Penn State's got to get it to 10 million. That's the way the contract's written. That's why all these people that were trying to say, Tech's trying to change you get up there and negotiate the contract. No, Tech's just trying to figure out what they're comfortable paying him and what they're going to accept. So Tech, many fans have been excited. You're going to get your guy, it looks like, because he's got no other options. Zero. Does it mean it's not going to work? No, it doesn't mean it's not going to work. He's going to be the biggest name that Tech has had as a head football coach, obviously, since Coach Beamer. He's got tremendous accomplishments at Vanderbilt. He did a good job at Penn State for many years. Never got him over the national championship hump, but he had him in the playoffs. And the whole dynamic is fascinating to me, and it's not a criticism at all. Like, it's amazing how people just hear what they want to hear, or they come at you because they don't want to hear something you're trying to say. And all I'm trying to do is create a conversation. But the two things I'm going to throw out there, all right, and I'm not saying this is a bad hire for Tech, because he is going to turn the roster over. You're going to see he's going to have to go out and get his quarterback. Now, that's something that he didn't necessarily do at Penn State consistently. So he'll go to the portal, and that's going to be the key. You got to find your quarterback out of the portal. But I don't think that's going to be – I think, we're going to find out he's always recruited the state well. He's been able to bring recruits. I don't think that's going to be an issue. But the two questions I ask again, what happened at Penn State? We haven't gotten clarity. He had them in the playoff last year. He had them in position to win a national championship in 2024. We'll talk to Phil Elmassian about it once again. He has always had some interesting thoughts on this. And now I think you can talk about it because it looks definitely like it's going to happen now that he's exhausted all of his other opportunities. Why did they eat $50 million? It's not because he lost a few, quote, big games. He had them in the playoff. If you're in the playoff and you're in a position to play in the national championship game, which if you're in the playoff, you are in a position to play in the national championship game, and you're in on all the money, why did it take so few games the next year when they hit a bump in the road? Now, it was a major bump. UCLA is a terrible football team, and they went out there and got blown out. Then they followed that up with the Northwestern loss, and he got no opportunity. He got no latitude like Mike Norvell. We're not going to make a move until the end of the year. All right? He's not getting the latitude that Loxley's going to get at Maryland. Maryland kind of realized, you know what, we can't find a coach. Let's just keep this guy and put more resources into it. He didn't get any of that. None of it. He got fired. After how long he had been there, his one-loss record, the bowls, being in the playoff, why did they eat $50 million so easily? I think that's a fair question. I hope we get it answered. Maybe we'll get it answered if he gets here and we start to see how things unfold. Second question. All the Tech fans that are so eager. The guy that he mentored came to Blacksburg and failed miserably, Brent Pry. Right? The guy Brent Pry learned everything from. And now everyone is salivating. Well, I won't say everyone. Many are salivating over the thought that his mentor The pupil came. The apprentice came. Didn't work out. And now everybody is just frothing over the mentor coming in and basically going to utilize the same defensive principles because that's what Brent Pry, who he learned from. It just feels like a strange dynamic. It's just an observation. It's not a criticism. By the way, Jermaine Ferrell on the show today, Jonathan Sweet from Pulaski Sports and Entertainment, and Phil Elmassian. So we'll get your thoughts. Watch X closely. That's where stuff breaks before anybody else. And it'll be a guy like Thamel. It'll be a guy like Brett McMurphy, Bruce Feldman. There's several pretty good college football guys out there. But I believe this is the day that one way or the other you're going to find out, and I've been told that it's going to come down to tech and TV. It's VT or reverse the letters, TV. That's all he's got left. That's all he's got left. But the thought that I was told from people that are close to it said that they believe he's going to go ahead and take the coaching job because we're not going to see this kind of coaching cycle again. This has been a unique, crazy, and I mean absolutely crazy coaching cycle. You're not going to have this many jobs open like this again, so he can't guarantee himself if he were to go and hit the old boob tube and sit there on the game day set that next year he would have the kind of job he might want that might show him the kind of interest that Tech has shown, right? He knows he's going to be coming to a place that wants him. They've made no bones about it that they met the parameters. There hasn't been a contract offer yet, but I think that once they announce their intentions, that gets taken care of pretty quickly. So look for it today. And I'm telling you, if you go through the day and it doesn't happen today, I think the chances something again has shifted in his mind. So we'll see. We'll see. But I had all these people. Not all. I had a select few people. Actually, it was only like two. Hey, Jackie Legs, good evening. That's right. Jackie, where are you again? Are you in England? Where are you? You're in a different Australia? I had a couple people coming at me over the weekend. Great day to be Okie. You said it wasn't going to happen. No, that's not what I said, ever. You want to go back and watch the video? I'm the one who predicted what happened before anybody else. Yes, Wayne, that means John Gruden's not coming. Oh, because there are other sites, 247 saying that it's going to happen on Saturday. Did it happen? Did I miss the announcement on Saturday? Did I miss it? I'm checking here. No, it didn't happen, did it? Just saying. Just saying. I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight either way. Whatever. I'm just trying to give you, all I've been trying to do, I have a really good source that's plugged in whose coach happens to be a Sexton client. He gets good info. He's been correct all along. He said this thing's probably going to drag out. He's been telling me the James Franklin process, what he's been thinking about other jobs. I've tried to share that with you. If you don't want to utilize it, that's your choice. I just try to help. Doesn't affect me one way or the other. I kind of want it to end. I just want it to be done at this point. We'll see the kind of staff, if he does end up coming today, what kind of staff he builds and how all this is going to go forward. He's going to get a king's welcome, right? I think you're going to see if it ends up being Franklin today. And I'm still going to say if, even though I think today is the action day. I think you'll see donations go up. I think you'll see all sorts of things improve quickly in terms of people's attitude. They'll put the final two games behind them a little bit. But I think the key is going to be the coaching staff he brings, his coordinators, and how this thing's going to be structured. But I'm just telling you this, and I'm sorry if you don't want to hear it. I don't feel this way. I'm just telling you the way he has looked at this whole job. Virginia Tech has been there for the taking for 3 weeks. and he did not take the job. He's kept them at arm's length. He knew he had a little bit of hand there for a while. Tech finally got to the point to where they're saying, no, we can't do this anymore. We're not dancing anymore. We have to know something or we're going to move on. And good for them. You're correct, Prometheus. 100%. And all these people were already going out and printing out James Franklin shirts on Saturday just because, I don't know, a site said that he'd been in Blacksburg 3 times and it's going to happen on Saturday. Yeah, ESPN said they just started talking. The same network, by the way, whose bluff got called. And by the way, we were on it. Did I not say it last Wednesday, Thursday? I got a lot of people. I told you that by the weekend, the NFL was not going to allow a third Monday night game to be affected. And what happened Friday night? We got all the Disney networks back on YouTube TV. They just miraculously agreed to a deal. The NFL said, you know what? You either fix this or we're going to show you the language in the contract that you signed, and you guys are either going to owe us billions or we're going to leave your network. The ratings for the 2 Monday night games that were missed by the YouTube TV viewers is like a third. The NFL, for all of its warts, and we had another game decided by a horrible call yesterday. Nobody can beat the NFL. And they control all these networks. It was just a matter of time. And Disney's bluff got called. They lost over $75 million, $5 million each day that they were off of YouTube TV. Do you think they thought people were just going to say, well, they can't live without college football? They can't live without Monday Night Football. Oh, they're going to go buy our new bundle. They're going to spend $150. They're going to go. I don't believe that happened. I think people dug in and said, go F yourself, Disney. You think they made up $75 million in desperate subscribers? You think that happened? No, it didn't happen. Just ridiculous. So, yeah, we got it back. I was just sitting around, and all of a sudden it just popped back up. I'm sitting there watching. I got this text message from YouTube TV. Hey, we have reached an agreement. Shocker. That was all Disney. Now, YouTube's not guiltless in all this, right? They're going to price jab us probably now too. But Disney's the one who ignited all this, and they thought for sure that 15 million subscribers were going to just all of a sudden flock to their product. No, didn't happen. Oh, sure, people jumped and they panicked at the beginning. It was calculated to hit just before the first college football weekend. And there were people who now are probably like, uh-oh. Because the best mechanism that I've seen on streaming by far for college football and the NFL is YouTube TV. They've been outstanding. I mean, it's a great, you know what I'm talking about, the facing, the ease of it, the way they do the game bundles is easier. It's just a great format. And to their credit, they didn't panic, and they're still giving you all the credits that they promised, even though they got the product back. Now, I'm not going to praise them too much because I'm sure that at some point we're going to see, hey, by the way, now that you've got your Disney networks back, here's $25 more of billing each month. Yeah, I was giggling too. Some of the things I was seeing about it was funny. There were a few people that had common sense on X. Why is this big news? I saw a lot of people. I tried to repost them and like them so people could see them. This is not new news. Just because they said it, Thamel's sitting there like he's got some kind of breaking news, and we're all here going, yeah, we've kind of known that for a long time now. We've known that Franklin and Tech have been kind of joined together through this process for a few weeks. Thanks, guys. Thanks, worldwide leader. But anyway, they lost in the whole pulling it off YouTube war. And congratulations to all of us, the consumer, because we dug in and said, no, not going to do it. Wouldn't be prudent. So we won that battle. And just keep your eye in the sky today. I asked my source, okay, so let's say we go through the day. And we wait, and we wait, and we get through Monday, and we don't see anything. What does that mean? He said, well, it could mean nothing, but it probably means that the chances have decreased. That maybe the TV gig is something, because he's still going to make his money, whatever he ends up doing, because Penn State's got to get it to $10 million. But it's tech or TV. He's not in on any other jobs. He's tried. He's tried at Arkansas. He's tried at Florida State. He really tried, because Sexton's got clients all over the country at these major schools. He's got ins that nobody else has in these agents wars. And he tried to get in at these places, and that's not the way they want to go. But we'll see how it all plays out today. But today could be the action day you've been waiting for. It's going to come to an end one way or the other in the next 24, 48 hours. Tech, if he says at the end, if he just says, I'm not ready to come yet, Tech's going to have to just say, you know what, we're done. You know, all those parameters, we can't afford to do this. So we'll see. And then you had all this. I was gone, so I didn't keep up with any of it. And somebody can explain it to me. I don't know what all this flight tracking was. I don't know what all that was. Anybody know? Bud Foster, apparently, this and that. I don't know what any of it means. Y'all can let me know. I know that many people believe that James Franklin has more respect for Bud Foster than anybody that is right now currently there for Virginia Tech. Opal, you're 100% correct. You are right on the money. By the way, I am ordering. I know I'm all over the place. There's a lot going on. I'm going to order some, because I've had 3 requests now for men's 3X tall T-shirts. And I'm going to get some small T-shirts too, because I've had a few of the Peepettes say that they wanted some shirts. So I'm going to get some small and some 3X tall for people. I'm going to get like 5 or 10 a piece, and I'll let you know when I get those. Again, if you would, like to order a T-shirt, hit me up. $20 if I can get them to you. And don't worry, all local people. I've got everybody who's paid. We're going to try to work things out. Travel schedule's been hectic. I've mailed out the first 2. Morris, I'll get yours out no later than Wednesday. It's now 28, by the way. I got to fix this. Let me update this. Let me update that. Yeah, it's like 769, 775. There we go. There. 28 if you want them shipped. Just send me a message on the professional door text line 3910788 or hit me up on the DM, either my personal DM or a BDST. That's the other question, Prometheus. And I don't know if we'll ever get it answered. Let's take a little bit of this off of James Franklin a little bit, okay? Try to come at it from both sides. And having done this show for now going on 16 years, you hear a lot of opinions that maybe I didn't have or didn't think about from the audience, from interviewers. I wrote about this in last Friday's Big Dog Barks in The Patriot, thanks to Mike Williams. You learn a lot. You have to open your mind and your ears, and you learn a lot. You don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. today's environment pushed by the access media and I guess whatever else, people think that if you have a differing opinion that immediately you're against them or you're challenging them or no. How about you listen? That's how this country became what it is. You know, you don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but I like to ask these questions to see maybe if you can help me come to the answers. But let's take some of this off of Franklin. I want to get to Prometheus's point. How much of this in his mind and in Sexton's mind is because of the way the power structure has been left in place at Virginia Tech? This is a major move for him too. It's a must home run hire for Tech, but for Franklin, who's taken a pretty large ego hit, he needed to. He's got to look at this and kind of wonder, okay, all right. So the AD's not really the guy. I know it's going to be presented and he's going to be allegedly on this thing where he has to sign off on. You really think Whit Babcock's in any kind of power position once, okay, here's our guy. He now says he wants the job. Present this to whomever. You think he's going to go, no, wait a minute. You think he's got any? No, he doesn't. No, he's just on that list because of his relationship with the president. But I would think, and let's look at this from a James Franklin point of view. It's not a financial thing. The guy's got more money than he'll ever need. Now, you always want more money, and I'm sure that's been part of the negotiation. I'm not saying that, but he has to wonder once he gets here, who's he going to end up ultimately answering to? How's it going to look? You're not going to bring in some football AD that a guy like James Franklin's going to say, okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you got an AD who's already been told he's not going to do anything with football. That only leaves one person, right? It's got to be the president. How has that been clarified to him? Again, I don't know the answers to these questions. I'm just asking. You think that's been part of the sticking point? I think I do. Tech did not leave this as a clean entry for a new football coach or a new football staff. They just didn't. Now, it would also be a lot of uncertainty if you needed a new AD, right? But in the time that you could have made the move, it was week 3, right? How many games have we played now? 10? Is that right? So it's been almost 2 months. If you would have done Armageddon like Georgia Tech and gotten rid of both, you could have probably had a new AD in place by now. So then that structure makes more sense. It still doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So let's just give Frank a little bit of benefit of the doubt from that standpoint. He may have been hesitating until he got comfortable, wondering how this setup was going to go. Now, he's going to have complete control because that's the kind of coach he is. You look it up. I mean, he had control over everything recruiting, which is really good because he's a good recruiter. I saw it, Wade. Here you go. This is what Wade's talking about. Look at that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Quote Mike Jones. Look at that. Look at that game. Is that nice or what? Yeah. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Very cool. Yeah, I wanted to download that one. I thought that was pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right, we want to tell you about the Ready Set Fund, ReadySetFund.com. Go see Bob Christ. He's terrific. He's Dave Christ's brother. BobChrist11 at gmail.com, BobChrist11. They helped Floyd County softball raise $4,000 in a week, and all they did was send texts. Telling you, if you need to raise money for one of your teams in your schools, man, give Bob a call. Ready, Set, Fund. It is terrific, and I'm all about trying to help these kids out, make as much money as they can, man. It's awesome. Professional Incorporated Residential and Commercial Garage Doors. Been talking to Travis Webbs all weekend about all this stuff. 38 years, and they need people because they're so good at what they do. They've been hired nationally by Walmart. They're all over the region now, their reputation. Travis is just exploding this business, and they need people to go up there. You don't need to have any experience. He wants to train you because he's the best at what he does. Let the best train you. We talk about the apprentice and the mentor. Didn't work out for Pride at the time, but it will work out for you if you trust Travis. Sensational. Travis, thank you for your support. And I know you're going to get good people up there. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of BDST, hung out with Lara Ramsey this weekend at the Greenbrier, her and her husband. Great people. Exclusive banking partner of the show. BDST fan question of the week. Help me come up with one. Brought to you by the attorney Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street in Radford. He specializes in trust and estate planning. We've been kind of talking about the questions on Monday, then we get into the questions on Tuesday. Charles Lee, Little River Heating and Air, 540-553-2971. They're the best in the business. Again, every sponsor that's on this program are the best at what they do. And I'm honored that they took the time to come in here and help me. I can't say enough about Charles Lee. We're coming up on the year anniversary in February. We're lightning a weird lightning storm in February when I was gone on a basketball trip for about 5 days. Got texts from each neighbor. Man, I think your house, something happened to your house. We heard this. Well, they fried all my units, man. They fried both of my units set side by side. This is a 3-storied house. Boom, boom, fried out. They got here the next day, assessed it. Well, they showed me. Ugh, all black in there. Here's your options. All right, cool. We'll help you out with your homeowners. All right, got that done the next day. Next day, they had all the equipment there, all the workers there. I left for the day, came back, boom. You can't beat it. And you can't beat being presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. You want to get excited. 7:40, Jonathan Sweet, the director, the man, going to join us. We're going to talk about opening up the ballpark. Open up the Motorplex again, the Speedway. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hundley, sponsor of our chat room that just absolutely goes nuts every day. Thanks to you. Thank you. Mark is the best at what he does. He's great with you as a patient. And he's got all this wonderful stuff over there. And he's got the latest technology. And I'm telling you what, I didn't know much about chiropractic and everything. But as I've gotten older, you realize, you know what? Without them, I don't know if you could still be standing upright. And Mark is the best. Go see him. You won't regret it. Travis, our own Professional Door Incorporated sponsor, is now a patient. And Jason Green, I'll always be indebted for Family Fencing. They were our first sponsor. They're going to work through the wintertime. You don't need to fret about it. If you decide you want to get it done now, so you're not messing around in the spring, and you can just go out and do whatever you want on your property, right? They're going to fence all winter long. Family-owned, community-oriented as well. And they look at winter as being one of the best times to install your fences. So your yard's taking some time off. You don't need to mow it. You don't need to get out there and do anything. So they can get out there and do what you need to do. And then when things start greening up, you're going to go, boy, I'm so glad I had family fencing out here. And now I don't have to call them. It's all done. I don't have to wait. Because everybody gets that itch, right, when the weather gets warmer. I can't wait to get out in the yard and do some stuff. Give them a call, 540-200-8294. FamilyFencingNRV.com. Thanks to James Lawson, Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. NRV Super Bowl, call them, 540-382-5525. Harvey's GM in Radford. Go buy your next vehicle from Brad Harvey or George Jr. or any of their fine salespeople. They're the best. They have the best service department I've dealt with. Neil and Melissa are terrific people. You never have a bill and you go, wait a minute, this doesn't look right. No, not one time. Thanks to the Montgomery County Chamber for all their support. Thanks to everybody. Couldn't do the show without you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We've just completed 3 months here on the new format. Please like and subscribe to the program. We're trying to get to 1,000. That gets us in a different plateau in a lot of different ways. We're at 715. It's amazing to me. We need 285 more. Please spread the word. Show people how easy it is to subscribe. Doesn't cost $1. You can help the show if you want to go and be a premium chat member. A few of you have. Thank you for that. This whole thing's not inexpensive, but that's okay. So please subscribe to the channel as we continue to grow. And hit me up if you want the shirts. They've been well received. Everybody tried to describe how well they've been made by Top Shelf and the kind of material, and people are like, I see what you're saying. It's the perfect middle ground of a t-shirt. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of people texting me about Radford's weekend. Yeah, it wasn't a good weekend for Highlander Nation up at the Greenbrier. Got away from them big time on Saturday. Just one of those games where you're sitting there and it's going back and forth and there's a nice flow. And all of a sudden you look up and you're down by 10, and then you're down by 15, and then you're down. And the margin kept growing. And then on Sunday you come out and you knew it was going to be a pivotal game. Again, another team from the Horizon League. Back-to-back game days are great, especially when you lose the first one. You get right back on the floor. Every coach will tell you. And Radford came out on fire, went on a 15-0 run. Strike fire! 15-0 run right from the beginning. Built up a 17-point lead, had a 17-point lead with 6 minutes to go and lost the game. Those are tough to be on this microphone when you're on the call. And now we head down to South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks in what is the final game of that tournament at the Greenbrier. But it's not a win-lose. Wayne blames the announcer. Well, you get 3 games in the round-robin format. And then next weekend, the power schools will be up there. Virginia's going to be up there. Yeah. South Carolina's up there. I haven't done that in a while, have I? Let me find the Oh My guy. Yeah, I'm sorry, Wayne. Radford ahead by 17. They end up losing by 5.
Oh my. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah. But, that's what November is for. That's what November is for. You're welcome. You're welcome, by the way. Thank you so much for your text. November, you don't get too high. You don't get too low. Right? You just kind of play it by ear. Tech yesterday beat Charlotte, by 8? We talked about Tech's schedule. Winning games that, they scheduled to win. Let's just say it the way it is. The Providence win on the road was a good win. All else was kind of the way it does, and every school in the country does it this way. Now, a lot of times it doesn't happen. What have we seen? At least 2, maybe 3 Division II teams already beat D1 teams. Did you see where the Division III women's team beat Pitt in women's basketball the other day? A Division III women's team beat Pitt out of the ACC. And they got paid to do it. So no, everybody asking, I'm not panicking yet about Radford. It's new staff, new era into the NIL. But yeah, a little bit of a setback weekend. But nobody's gonna hit the panic button. You haven't started conference play. And for the Big South in our league, it's a one-bid league, and that's where you have to be good. Yeah, that game was a lot closer yesterday for Tech than I thought it was going to be. Charlotte. Yeah. But it is what it is. You get the win. That's all that matters. There's learning. There's just so many ways to learn throughout. Who was it, Jimmy? The Dunder Mifflin team? What's that? That's who beat them? But See, basketball is a marathon, right? It's not like football. Football feels like a sprint from the opening week, right? Because in college football, you only have 12 chances now. NFL, you're going to end up having at some point 18, but it's 17 right now. Was it really? Well, I know what Dunder Mifflin is, but I mean, what team was it? They weren't called Dunder Mifflin, right? Oh, it was a Scranton team? A Division III team from Scranton? That's not a good look for the ACC, huh? Yeah, the Rising League's a pretty good league, but these two teams were both picked toward the bottom. And think about it, this shows you how stupid these preseason rankings are now, because we played Cleveland State yesterday. They had 15 new players. They're one of just 10 teams in the country where every player is new. So how can somebody vote and assess what these players are going to look like? Because the polls usually come out, early October. No one's seen them. So you're just throwing in an educated guess. Same thing with Wright State. They had 8 or 9 new players. They're very well coached, Wright State. They nearly beat Kent State in the first game yesterday, went to overtime. And Kent State's really good out of the MAC. Really good. So how can you sit there and make a poll and say, well, Radford has 13 new players, right? So how do you know exactly how they're going to finish in the pecking order? You have no idea. You have less knowledge now than you ever did before. So these basketball polls, just throw them out the window, man. Every game Radford's played, even North Carolina, has had at least 8 or more players brand new to the program, which is the way it is all over the country. That's how Mike Young's turned over the Tech roster. What do you do with them when they're here, and how quickly do they develop and come together, right? That's where coaching now actually in college basketball, I think takes more of the attention than maybe it has before, because you have to bring all this stuff together. You have to organize. So you have the thing that's very unattractive for older coaches, going out and dealing with the portal, going out and dealing with the NIL. But at the same time, you have to get them here, and all of a sudden you're back to square one as a coach, right? You have to buy them in. Depending, I know a lot of them are making a lot of money, so you have to get their minds set on where they are and the place they are, and not just on the check they're receiving. Did you see what Kirby Smart said over the weekend, the Georgia head coach? Last time I checked, he's had a lot of success. It was really well said. He said, we don't bring guys in here that just collect checks. We don't collect checks here at Georgia as being the impetus behind what we are. Talking about the players, somebody was asking about some of the guys, some of the depth on his team. I mean, he's not saying that's not the way it is, but that's not what he's bringing in guys to do. So it's hard to assess what teams are going to look like, right? That's exactly right, Thunder. That's well said. It is. It's like drive-through coaching. You have to kind of re-energize your batteries every year. And it feels like Mike Young has done that, doesn't it? It feels like Mike Young is kind of he sounded like it when he was on the show here. It does. It's a challenge. It's not for everybody, especially more veteran coaches. But if you wrap your arms around it, I mean, you're still making a lot of money. I think you're getting a lot more leeway in college basketball than you are in football. It's had a different effect on football. Now, you can see these two sports and see a completely opposite effect in terms of the administrative and booster pressure on coaches because of the portal. It changes with football now. It's added a lot of the other side of this thing. And guys are just not getting any time really to build their program. So, anyway, we've covered a lot of ground in the first hour. Trying to get caught up. I know we don't have weekend shows, but when you're away, you kind of feel like you've missed out on things. We're not going to talk much about the Florida State game because it wasn't much to talk about. I thought the second half was just very nondescript. It was bad football. Tech didn't look very interested in the game. Florida State's not very good. I mean, think about this. A Miami-Virginia Tech game is at noon on Saturday. This Miami 16-point favorites. Virginia got a big win. That's a gutsy win for them, man. I tell you what, Chandler Morris is a warrior. You talk about bringing in a quarterback that's changed the whole identity. That's what James Franklin, if he says yes today, which is what many in the industry expect, that's the way I'm going to start wording it. People in the industry expect that to be the case today. You get your quarterback, man, it can change it around. Tony Elliott was in desperation year, just like Brent Pry. I mean, he was in desperation year, man. If he doesn't win this year, he's out the door like Brent Pry. And he goes out, and he had dollars really for the first time. And I give Tony Elliott all the credit in the world, man. And that guy that he's got under center is a dude. He's a dude. Or as the guys call him, he's a dog. He is a dog. Paul says, what do you say? You going to start the weekend show? In all seriousness, though, about that, I would do an extra day. If we hit 1,000, I would probably be more committed to doing that more often. Yeah. Once we get to 1,000, I'll probably do that. Because then YouTube starts advertising on your channel when you go back and rewatch. Not during the live show, but when you would go back, if you missed it, you'd have to sit through. And that's when things start to take off. Morris says, I have had 6 Virginia Tech tickets for football for 30 years. Cal was the first leftovers I've not been able to sell. Canes tickets online now, no takers thus far. Have until Wednesday. Yeah, I saw somebody said there's $10 or $15 tickets or something like that for a Miami game. But I think people are so focused on the game day announcement because no one's ever talked about James Franklin and Virginia Tech until Saturday on game day. Made the prediction October the 20th. Why did I just segue into Bill Belichick? I made the prediction back on October the 20th that I thought that James Franklin was going to be the next football coach at Virginia Tech. To celebrate that prediction, I smelled the fragrance of strawberries. Then me and Jordan went out and we had a great time hitting all the apron and purse shops down in Blacksburg. But yeah, it wasn't real until Pete Thamel said it. Straight fire. Okay, whatever. The conclusion is coming one way or the other. Today is the action day. It's the exact word from my guy. And I asked him, I said, I'm going to use your terminology. He said, that's fine. Today's the action day. They believe it'll be yay. If it's nay, uh-oh. But the only nay it can be is if he wants to be on a TV set. Unless he just wants to wait out some of these other jobs. But by then, Tech's going to go, see ya. Tech is not a stepping stone, man. They shouldn't be treated like such. I feel like that's the way they've been treated here. I do. They've made their intentions pretty obvious, who they wanted for a while, and that hasn't been reciprocated. You may not want to hear it. It's fact. It's science. That's why it went through the weekend, despite everyone saying that this is what's going to happen. I saw by, 3 or 4 dozen different posts that it's happening on Saturday. And I'm just sitting there going, no, it's not. But okay, go ahead. I didn't keep saying that. Keep telling yourself that. And, of course, it didn't happen. No, it wasn't going to happen on Sunday. The common sense of the whole thing is this. Most times when you're playing a game, you're not going to sit there and do something like that to take away from your team's performance. You know what I mean? It's cross-promoting your brand a little bit. And if they've waited this long, they didn't need to force it on Saturday just because some talking head on game day said it. And I watched the piece later, and I was like, they're all acting like they know. Oh yeah, they've been all over this. No, they haven't talked about it. This is the day that he was on the set. I guess they mentioned it. How long's that been? It's been about a month ago that he was there. But those of you who've been holding out for James Franklin, I believe today will be the day. Yes. And if it doesn't happen today, I'm not sure even people that know exactly know what he might be thinking if it doesn't happen today. We'll find out pretty quickly. Yeah. Yes, the NFL refs. We're getting a lot of text messages on the professional door text on the NFL ref. They're going to have to tear the whole thing down. If they care about their sport and their game, they've got to tear the whole thing down. The NFL, it's such an interesting dynamic. They're by far the most powerful entity on the planet in terms of sports, and they do everything wrong in terms of caring about their product. Their officials are destroying the product, and nothing happens. The Lions game, it's all over. I just looked again. The first 5 posts I just saw, and people don't even follow on X, are about that play last night in the Eagles-Lions game. The NFL can't get out of its own way. It's going to continue to be the biggest draw, the biggest ratings draw. But they need to tear down the whole officiating model. They need to make more things reviewable. But pass interference has to become something they have to look at. It's ridiculous. And then you see what they did, the game overseas. Where they play, and they put the new grass. They've been taking the time to grow. Wonderful grass, the best grass. And the NFL has never, ever done that at all. They've never, ever done that in any way, shape, or form. They just keep putting the plastic out there, letting the guys go out there and tear up their legs. Madrid. There you go, Brandon. Thank you. Yeah. They put this thing in a humidor. They raise the grass. The players are saying it's the best surface they ever played on because it's natural grass. And all those folks over there, all those soccer countries play on grass for a reason. You watch the English Premier League and you see, that's a Neil Leahy reference, nothing but big, beautiful grass. And those guys are twisting and doing all sorts of things with their bodies. You don't see nearly the kind of injuries you're seeing all over the plastic NFL who say they care so much about their players. But anyway, joining us now on the program, Jermaine Ferrell. There he is. Good morning, man. How are you?
Hanging in there. How about you?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Let's talk some high school football, man. Playoffs. We talked about it last week. A lot of the locals are in. How'd the locals do this weekend? I was at the Greenbrier. I know a few of the results, but not all of them. What happened?
Everybody did pretty good. We had some big wins. I can tell you where we are right now. So starting in Class 5 in Region C, so you have the semifinals, and you have Patrick Henry got a big win over Franklin County. So they will host Hermitage out of the Richmond area.
Okay.
They're a 5 seed. They knocked off Midlothian, so that's a big one. So that game will be in Roanoke over at Patrick Henry High School Friday night. And then coming up on the other side of the bracket, William Fleming, the 3 seed, got a 46-6 win over Douglas Freeman. So they will visit Highland Springs. And for teams who don't know much, but let me give you a breakdown, first of all, in that semifinal when you look at Patrick Henry taking on Hermitage. I'll just pull up my notes here real quick. So this is the first ever playoff meeting between Patrick Henry and Hermitage. PH trying to advance to their first regional final since 1985. That year, of course, they made it to the state semifinals. PH averaging 37 points a game, giving up 6 points per game. So they've been pretty strong on defense. And then Hermitage is averaging 38 points per game, only giving up 15. But this is going to be a big matchup down there. Hermitage's 2 losses on the year, and so that should be a good one. Meanwhile, William Fleming taking on a Highland Springs team. In the past decade, Rick, they've won 5 state championships. But this is the first ever meeting. Fleming going for their 3rd straight region title game appearance. Colonels, after they got off to a 2-3 start, they've won 6 in a row by an average of a score of 39-6. Fleming, they're averaging 32 points a game, giving up 12. And since 2015, as I mentioned, Howling Springs has won 5 state titles. Now, some of those titles have been even in Class 6. So they've moved up and down between the two classifications, 5, 6. Springer's averaging 33 points a game, giving up 16. So that should be a pretty cool matchup. Meanwhile, over in Class 4, GW Danville just got a big win, knocked off Blacksburg. But a great season for Blacksburg, considering the fact they made the playoffs for the first time in 6 seasons. So a great season for them. So GW, they'll face Sharando, the 4 seed. They're defending regional champs. And Jefferson Forest this Saturday will visit John Hanley. Of course, JF knocked off EC Glass in round 2 of the Black and Blue Bowl, and John Hanley put it to Liberty out of Bilton. So when you look at the matchup between George Washington taking on Sharando, as we pull up those notes right here real quick. Okay, so first ever meeting between the teams. At GW, they've won 10 in a row. Started off with their opening season loss, but then they've won 10 in a row. Sharando, the defending Region 4D champs, GW, averaging 37 points per game, and they're giving up 17 a game. But Sharando, they're averaging 30 and giving up 13. So pretty big win for them right then and there, as that matchup should be a pretty good one. Meanwhile, JF, they do hit the road up to John Hanley. That'll be a Saturday matchup at 1 o'clock up there. First ever meeting, that JF playing pretty strong with a 9-2 mark, giving up 34 points per game, averaging 34 and giving up 9. But John Hanley's been a tremendous team at 10-1, so that'll be a long trip. And JF, really, Rick, their motto is they've been wanting to get past, the second round. They've come so close, lost some close second round matchups in the playoffs, but they're going to have a tall task against John Hanley. Meanwhile, we go to our classification 3, and a lot of games going on right there. We're going to start in Region 3C. Heritage 10-1. They are also on a 10-game winning streak, taking on Turner Ashby. Heritage won big over Western Albemarle. Turner Ashby did the same to Allegheny. Of course, Allegheny with the loss of one of their players. So it was a tough, emotional time for them. Turner Ashby 10-1. They're a strong team. We'll get to them in a second. Meanwhile, Wilson Memorial will face the two-time defending Class 3 champs in Liberty Christian game. They got to win a 2-point win. So Wilson Memorial 10-1, Turner Ashby, Liberty Christian 8-2. So when we look, first of all, we're going to look at Liberty Christian taking on Wilson Memorial. That game will be up in Fisherville. Now, Wilson Memorial LCA won the only meeting between those two teams. It was the 2021 Region 3C playoffs in the first round. LCA won 56-7 when they played their home games at Williams Stadium. Wilson Memorial, the Green Hornets, are averaging 30 points per game, giving up 9 points per contest. LCA averaging 35 points per game, giving up 18 per contest. So that could be a pretty good matchup. Again, LCA, they're 8-2 on the season. And then Wilson Memorial, they're 10-1. Meanwhile, when we look at Heritage, as they will host they'll host Turner Ashby. Turner Ashby won the only meeting between these two teams. This was a couple of years ago, 2023 Region 3C first round. They won that one at home 26-14. As I mentioned, Heritage, they're on a 10-game winning streak. Heritage averaging 39 points per game. They're giving up 13 per contest. Turner Ashby giving up 37 points per game and averaging 37, giving up 15. Pretty good matchup. Will be at City Stadium at Lynchburg. Meanwhile, in Region 3D, we'll have an all-local matchup there. Carroll County, who got a close win, a 6-point win over Northside. With their first win in the playoffs in 15 years. They're the 4 seed. They'll visit Magna Vista. Of course, Magna Vista 10-1 as they got a big win against their team there. Meanwhile,
we have a lot of Carroll County peeps in chat, so I'm happy for those people. Yeah, that's great.
Carroll County doing well. Then Lord Botetourt and William Byrd, another matchup in the playoffs. Byrd 8-3 will visit Lord Botetourt 10-1. So let's give you the breakdown on the Magna Vista Carroll County game as I pull up my notes again. So there it is. Magna Vista, the number 1 seed, Carroll County, the 4 seed. Now Magna Vista leads this series 3-0. All the meetings were in the playoffs. The last time these two teams met, you have to go back to 2009. Magna Vista winning in Hillsville 36-13. Magna Vista guys are averaging 46 points per game, giving up 14. Carroll County, they're averaging 39 points a game, giving up 23 points per contest. Meanwhile, the Lord Bata William Byrd game will actually be our game of the week. And this is, I tell you one thing, guys, this is going to be a slobber knocker. William Byrd leads the series 41-25-1. Now, in playoff matchups, Byrd leads all-time 3-0. So when they've met in the playoffs, Byrd has won all the playoff matchups. William Byrd won the regular season meeting back on October 25th, 42-41. This will be the third straight season the teams will meet in the playoffs. Last year, Byrd won the Region 3D final over LB and Daleville in double overtime, 46-44. And William Byrd, they've won 4 of the last 5 matchups between these two teams. So to say these two teams, Rick, know each other would be an understatement because a lot of familiarity when it comes to these teams. But it's going to be a pretty good matchup right then and there. So we move down the ranks. We go down to our only other region, Region 2C. Of course, Radford got a big win over Appomattox. I mean, they really, and that was a little surprising. I thought that'd be a closer game, but Radford opened it up. And Rick, Radford's really been gaining a lot of momentum.
They have.
They're 7-4. Meanwhile, Glenver won. They won their game big handily over Nelson County, shut them out 11. They're 11-0, but they won that one 50-0. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, Floyd County, of course, they won their playoff matchup, a close one with James River, and they'll visit Gretna. Gretna is 9-2 on that matchup. So Floyd County, when you look at that matchup, so we go real quick to that side of the bracket. We're going to start with Floyd County taking on, let me pull it up. Yeah, Floyd County taking on Gretna. Now, Gretna leads this series all-time, Rick, 3-0. All the meetings were in the playoffs. The last meeting was in the 2013 Region 2C first round. Gretna won in overtime at home 28-27. Now, back in actually, that was 2023. Sorry about that. Now, back in 2008, the Hawks beat the Buffaloes for the Group A Division II state title game in Salem, 25-20.
Yeah.
Gretna, Rick, they're averaging 43 points per game. They're giving up 23. Floyd County are averaging 29 points per game, and they're giving up 24. So this could be a potential high-scoring game as those two teams get after it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, Glenver, 11-0, 7-4 Radford. Now, Radford leads this series 16-15, but in playoff matchups, Radford won the only playoff meeting between the teams. That was the 2023 Region 2C Finals, and that was one game, a tremendous game, a last-second score by Radford to win that one 29-24. We were on the regular season meeting back on October 17, Glenver shutting out Radford at home 35-0. But the big question mark is the health of Brody Doyard, because wondering his condition, and at this point we don't know his situation. But it's going to be interesting because, like I said, Radford's playing with a lot of momentum. Glenver's been strong throughout, but if they can't get Brody Doyard in the game, that's going to make things even more interesting. But we'll see what happens in that in 2C. So that'll be a big matchup. Then we drop all the way down to our Class 1 schools, and a lot of good ones. We're going to start in Region 1B. You're going to have Alta Vista, 8-3. They're the top seed. They'll face Buffalo Gap. They're 5-6. They're the 5th seed. Then on the other side of the bracket, Sussex Central, which is 10-1. They're the 2 seed. Will face Riverheads, 7-4. They are the 3 seed. So when you look at that matchup, Alta Vista has been, they've played a tough schedule, Rick. They've been playing pretty strong as of late. Now, Alta Vista won the only meeting between these two teams. This was in last year's Region 1B finals at home, 32-20. Alta Vista is averaging 43 points per game, and they're giving up 20 per contest. So that's your Region 1B on that side. Then we go to Region 1C, which, again, that's another battle royal if you look at it. George Wythe, the 5th seed, won big over Narrows. They got that win up there in 48-19. They won up there. They will visit Giles, a team that 9-2. So this is George Wythe's 3rd straight week going up to Giles County. Meanwhile, Craig County, the 2 seed, facing the defending region champions in Grayson County, 7-4. They're the 3 seed, Craig County, 10-1. So when you look at this side of the bracket, we're going to start off looking with Craig County and Grayson County. Grayson County won the only meeting. It was last year in the Region 1C first round. Grayson County shut out Craig County at home 42-0. Craig County got their first ever playoff win last week, which was big for them. Grayson County's averaging 31 points per game. They're giving up 16 per contest. Meanwhile, Craig County averaging 40 points per game, and they're giving up 7 per contest. And Craig County, they got half their wins this year, nearly half, or actually more than half. 6 of them have been by shutout. So their defense, has been pretty strong. Meanwhile, George Wythe and Giles, of course, these are teams have played each other a lot over the years. George Wythe leads the series 24-20. In playoff meetings, George Wythe leads 4-2. Last year in the Region 1C first round, George Wythe won at home 48-6. The teams met 2 weeks ago in the regular season finale. Of course, Giles won that one big, 53-20. So you think George Wythe, they're going to be ready for this game. Giles is averaging 36 points per game, giving up 17. George Wythe averaging 34 points per game, but they're giving up 28. So if you look at that average, a lot of close games. And then finally in Region 1D, Rural Retreat, they were knocked out. So they are out of the playoffs. They played Eastside. Eastside 11-0. They will face Honeacre 7-4, the 4 seed. Meanwhile, Chilhowie 10-1. They'll face Rye Cove 8-3. Of course, Rye Cove, they played in the regional or state semifinal last year. So a lot of pedigree when it comes to those teams. So when you look at that matchup, we're going to focus on Chilhowie since that's a local team of ours. As I pull up that one, Chilhowie. Rye Cove leaves the series 2-1. The only playoff meeting came in the 2023 regional semifinals. Rye Cove winning at Chilhowie 28-17. Now, Chilhowie won the regular season meeting back on October 24th at home, 25-14. So right at this moment, we have 20 teams remaining in the playoffs. Norcross, congratulations to them, as Norcross won the VIS AA state championship. They won their third state title in the last 4 years. Norcross getting it done, winning over St. Anne Belfield. So big win right then and there. So there's your playoff roundup. But I tell you what, good job still having 20 teams left.
Yeah, it's great.
Because we have a lot of local on local matchups. So should be a pretty good setup with these teams.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Hey, real quick, Tech, not much for Florida State, kind of a performance in the second half. And how about Virginia? They needed that. That's huge. Tony Alley goes on the road. Chandler Morris is just the key to that whole team. That guy's a warrior, man. I tell you what, that's a massive win at Duke for Virginia. Massive win.
Big win right then and there. I tell you. So now, I mean, they're in good shape to win. Get into the conference championship game. Georgia Tech got a come from behind win over Boston College. So you have a lot of teams right then and there. I know some people were asking on your text line or wherever it is. Wilson Memorial, that's up there in the Harrisonburg area, but up in Fisherville.
Fisherville, yeah.
So that for people who probably don't know, that's where that is. That's up there in that area.
Yeah.
But a lot of intriguing matchups. Probably, like I said, you look at, we go back to the high school playoffs. I mean, you look at a lot of matchups. And a lot of these second round matchups could be even regional final matchups. And that's what's so impressive. But, like I said, Giles and George Wythe, that's a very intriguing matchup. Grayson County and Craig County, because you have Craig County, the upstarts. This is their first time really making a playoff run. George Wythe and Grayson County, they are regional champs. And they've made to the regional final or state championship game last year. So, and then, of course, like I said, in Region 2C with Glenver and Radford, Floyd County, and Gretna. And then in Region 3D, Magna Vista, Carroll County, Lord Bottop, William Byrd. And a lot of times people have asked this question, how will the Roanoke schools do against the Richmond schools? Well, we will find out coming up on Friday.
That's right. Head-to-head, baby.
It'll be head-to-head. And I'm sure people would love to see a Patrick Gray, William Fleming regional final. That'd be great to see, but they have to take care of business coming up on Friday. So it'll be an interesting.
That's right. All right. Well, brother, listen, great stuff, man. You might be busy this week with other things that might come down the pike here soon. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we might, but it's just hard to tell. Like I said, I know everybody wanting to know what's going to happen with the coaching situation for Virginia Tech, but I tell everybody until they let us know, we'll just play the wait and see game.
That's right. That's right. All right, man. Have a great week. Stay safe.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Jermaine Ferrell. Great stuff. Great playoff synopsis from Jermaine. He kind of gives you all that information so you know about the matchups too, man. That's important. Instead of just telling you who's going to play who, this is what might happen. Jonathan Sweet will join us in just a little bit, and then Phil Elmassian. We'll talk about all this stuff with Coach Elmassian. I've learned so much from the last month plus he's been on the show, Coach Elmo. Hit me up on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. Hit me up on the BDST Professional Door text line. Thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors, Family Fencing Studios. They're going to work throughout the winter. 540-200-8294. Give them a call. Great people. They're doing great things, man. Great things. I might end up hiring them, by the way. I might need some fencing. Jason, I got to talk to you. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hudley, off of Peppers Ferry Road in Christiansburg, like you're headed toward the theater. The theater. Jeeves, please take me to the theater. Sorry. We're going to hear from Jonathan Sweet, Pulaski County Sports Entertainment presenting sponsor of this program. They had a big announcement a week and a half ago. He's Pulaski County's chief administrative officer and chief of economic development. And that guy, you need some energy on a Monday. Anyway, you hear from Jonathan Sweet. You remember, he's already been on here once. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street, Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Speaking of energy, Charles Lee's got a great crew. You need them. You need them. Take care of get it done now, man, before the really bad weather comes. Ryan Price, the attorney. What do you want the fan question of the week to be, peeps? It's up for grabs. Ryan, if you have one, let me know. Specializes in trust and estate planning. Give me a yell. We'll come up with one. I'll have one. If you don't, I'll have one today. National Bank. Maybe you should wait to see how the news cycle goes today before we ask a question. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner BDST here on YouTube. Professional Door Incorporated. Travis Williams and Company needs workers. Go see him. He'll put you to work. You're going to have to work, but he'll train you and have you ready to go. And you will do a great job, and you'll have a great time. Ready, Set, Fund. We've talked about what they're doing. Bob Chris, I think it's terrific. ReadySetFund.com. If you're trying to get a sports team, a club of yours, doesn't have to be a sports team. They just do it they have a text program. Awesome. They raised over $4,000 for Floyd County girls softball. It's great. Thanks to James Lawson, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg, Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. And thanks to the NRV Super Bowl as well. Go bowl. Harvey's GM in Radford. Buy a vehicle. Go inquire about a vehicle. You want information. Brad will take the time to talk to you. Go, go, go. Go, buddy. Go, go, go. Hey, Carrie. Good. Hey, Carrie's back for week number 2. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. I think we're caught up now. Is everybody? Oh, and go see Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel. 4377 Lee Highway in Pulaski. If you want a T-shirt, hit me up. We got them. Mail them to you. You can meet me at Deadman. We'll get them to you. That's the new, that's where we are right there. $20. Do I need to show them again? That's right. That was old man sounds being in the van coming back from the Greenbrier. There you go. There's the back. Here's the front. Yeah. There you go. Those shirts are outstanding. There we go. Hit me up if you want a shirt. DM me or hit me up on the text line. Brought to you by Professional. Yeah. All right. I'm glad you brought this. All right. Here we go. Other things here while we wait for Jonathan Sweet. I saw it too. Bob Chesney. Oh, Bob, by the way, Bob Chesney hung 58 on App State. The guy texts not going to hire. Do I have that hat do I have that in Japanese? No, I didn't have any. Was that what they were asking for? So Morris goes to Japan and he's out, trying to pimp the show in any way he can. And apparently he made some t-shirt deals, but no, tell him we haven't made up the Japanese division yet. Bob Chesney, and it was then what blew me away. Here's Rick Neuheisel on the CBS Sports set, former UCLA quarterback. His son is calling the plays now at UCLA, saying that Bob Chesney and UCLA are beyond mutual interest. And I know Bob Chesney's going to get a Power 4 job. I never envisioned him connected with UCLA. Jed Fish at Washington has been connected at UCLA. That's where his wife is from, and they were there. He was offensive coordinator there for Jim Mora. Moore says they looked at him like he was an alien. Sometimes there was fear in their eyes. Well, I don't want BDST's mention to cause fear. I don't want that. Wayne just sent what Big Dog looks like in Japanese. So I don't know. I need to look into it more. But Bob Chesney and UCLA is connected. As I was going back and forth with my guy about Franklin, I threw that out there, and he said he's heard it's got some legs. I don't know. We'll see. I think there's a connection there with Martin Germain, the AD who's under such fire, who came from Boston College. He was at Holy Cross. I think there was some kind of relationship there. Maybe that's the connection. I don't know. Moore says, no, it wasn't your show. It was my Giles County accent. So that I don't know. I'll try to find out more about Chesney and UCLA. I know he's a hell of a football coach, and I know he's going to make some power school very, very happy. And you're going to have a second JMU coach go somewhere else than Blacksburg. Remind me again, how's the other one doing? What was his name? That other coach? (11-0), by the way. First time in school history. He's 22-2. A year after having Indiana in playoff. And do you think if he's done it at Indiana, he could probably done it in Blacksburg? He's extremely old, Morris. Yeah, Brian. Yeah. I don't know how I'm surprised he can drag himself out there every week. Thunder says Japanese probably okay, but avoid Temu. It'll make the listeners look like they shipped. Maybe cow. Bijou Dogju is Japanese for big dog. Really? Thank you. That's not accurate, is it? Did game day officially go to Harrisonburg? Is that true? Is that done? Yay! Yes. Good. Not that I care about game day, but they deserve the attention. Yay. Watch out now. What didn't USF lose to Navy? Did I see that? That's right, isn't it? At the Greenbrier, things get frightening and you get a little skewed. Didn't Navy win? Navy won, didn't they? Navy beat them. That helps James Madison in the playoff picture. 58-10, by the way. Oh, Bigu Dogu is correct. Okay. I thought you were just okay. I'm sure I'm saying it right. You think it's a J sound? Hey, Morris, are the G's pronounced J? Oh, they're not going to Harrisonburg. They're going to Oregon. Shocker. Yeah, Navy beat South Florida 41-38. Navy's 8-2, by the way. Alex Golish is a hot candidate at some of these SEC schools, but well, that sucks. That sucks. I hate it. I would love to see my guy Matt Roan get that kind of attention. It was too good to be true, though, wasn't it? And that's the kind of thing, if ESPN had any credibility, like everybody's saying that they had because of their thing on Saturday, wouldn't you go and wouldn't you honor a program like that if you really cared about college football? But no, you're going to go, who's Oregon even playing? Is it Oregon, Ohio State? I'm asking all these questions because I've been focused just on basketball this weekend. Who's Oregon even playing this week? USC. Okay. An old Pac-12 matchup. They're 11-point favorites, but let's go to Oregon. I mean, you would think if you cared about, but yeah, let's go to Oregon. Ryan Pryor, game day is not going to go a game involving Washington State. Yeah, very slim pickings. Well, and I'll tell you that here's another thing, too. When you see a coach like Bob Chesney's having immense success, he's going to want his program to get – this is going to drive coaches like that to take those jobs, right? Game days, yeah. Go to Lafayette Lehigh. Isn't that I think that's the oldest rivalry, right? It's the game that's been played the most in college football. Is that right? I think that's right. I think that's correct. But, when you're at a place like JMU, which is a great place for these coaches to, I'll be curious to see where he ends up next year. Very, very curious. Somebody's going to get an up-and-coming coach, and they're going to be extremely happy. He's been my preference in Blacksburg all along. My preference, not my prediction, my preference. People want to twist everything that you say, even though you say it very clearly. Right? So, yeah. People want to change everything you actually say. No. But Bob Chesney is going to be good wherever he goes. But today is the action day, again, just to get you updated. What that means is from people in the industry, they expect Franklin's going to get it out today, and you'll see Thamel or somebody announce that he's going to come to Blacksburg. That's what I was told yesterday evening. Tech is getting tired of waiting. They've been waiting for a while. Tech needs to get on with it. Tech's a very attractive job. They don't deserve to be anybody's last choice, but that's going to be the case here. Hopefully he can put that aside and come to a place, if it is Blacksburg, and wrap his arms around this like he did Happy Valley. I hope we get, if it happens, I hope we get the James Franklin who went into Vanderbilt and turned that whole thing around with that mindset. Instead of the one who went up to Big Ten country, got involved in all that, and then got fired a year after he's in the playoff. And we still don't know why. Just saying. I thought he was my pick back on October the 20th. I have the receipts. I did say a week and a half ago that information, because he's been trying really hard to get involved with 3 other jobs, Auburn, Arkansas, Florida State, and they all said no. They don't want him involved. He kept Tech just like this. He's been keeping Tech just like that, arm's length, right? Because he knows he's got that job if he wants it. You may not want to hear it. Okay. I'm just telling you what I'm told. All I've tried to do along this thing, I don't know jack, right? Tech shut it down. I get information from people that I trust that know what the hell they're talking about, and I've tried to share that with people. You may have your own mindset on how you think things are really going, but I'm just telling you, people that talk to – by the way, this guy's got a coach who's Jimmy Sexton's client. He's been right about everything, about all of it. So that's all I've tried to do. Bring information. I don't share about 90% of what I hear and what I've been told, because I know a lot of it is a lot like the bull crap that went on Saturday. Yeah, it's going to happen. Saturday, watch out. Everybody's saying it on all these other sites. Knowing it wasn't, I just kind of, all right. But that's okay. That's okay. It got credibility because it was on national TV, even though everybody else around these parts, not just this show, print media, the guests here, Tech Sideline, Sons of Saturday, Boundary Corner, we've all said the same thing. This has been going on for several weeks, but yet ESPN finally says, oh, it's happening. Yeah, we know. They've been talking for quite a while. It's been going on. Thanks, guys. Thanks for. But look, watch X today. That's all I'm going to say. Just watch X today. You see, Wayne's spreading the kind of things that are on X, which is just a cesspool, by the way. I heard Louise was having lunch and dinner with a prominent coach 3 times this past week. Yeah, the same site that he's been to, the same place that said he's been to Blacksburg 3 times, said it was going to happen without question on Saturday. Okay. I don't know how many uncommitted recruits, Tebow, but I think you're going to see a lot of action pretty quickly. Yeah. Because that's what he does best. He puts together rosters. He's a very, very good recruiter. He's going to turn, if it does come as expected today that he's going to come to Blacksburg, he's going to turn the talent level upside down on its head. Absolutely. Got to find him a quarterback. I don't think that'll be a major problem. I'm more curious to see what the staff's going to look like and how that plays out. Because if it does get put out today and all that, you'll have a presser at some point this week. I hope people ask the question, too, about how his relationship with the coach who was let go, his protege, how that played into all this. I think that's an interesting dynamic, too. The guy that he mentored came here and didn't work out, probably learned just about everything about being a college football coach from James Franklin, and now he would be coming here. If it does go today, as my guy told me, that industry opinion is that it's down to Tech or TV after he was rebuffed by Florida State, and that because of the amount of jobs that are out there, this is unique, man. It's crazy how many power jobs are out there. It's crazy. And he may be looking at this, okay, if I take a year off and go do TV. But by the way, how mad is Tech fan going to be if the announcement is, hey, I think I'm going to do a year in TV instead of go to Blacksburg? Woo! I don't think the percentage is very high that happens, but I'm just saying. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I don't know. I'm going to look more into this. I still have a hard time believing Chesney and UCLA has any legs. Just don't. They're unserious about football. He's very serious about football. I know they're going to offer a lot of money to a coach. I mean, a lot. They're going to offer. I've heard UCLA's prepared to offer $12 million a year, which is strange. If that's where he wants to go, that's fine. I wish him well. He's going to have great success, but I wish it was at a different place that cared more about the sport. They're leaving the Rose Bowl. I mean, it's an athletic department that makes horrible decisions. They're going to pay about $70 million, right? If James Franklin chooses TV, call the Riot Squad. Yeah, you're right. So they're going to pay $70 million UCLA's athletic department for getting out of their lease with the Rose Bowl early. It's already a program that's not swimming in money. An athletic department that's swimming in money. I don't know, man. Phil Elmassian joins us at 8 o'clock. We'll talk about all these things. Yeah, and that's my whole point, Wayne. And I think that's being missed by a lot of Tech fans. It's interesting that they would fire his former top assistant and his good friend, yet he's willing to come here. I think that has an intriguing story to it that needs to be asked by the people who'll be at the presser. Why would he want to do that? Why would Tech fan be so eager to have the mentor come in that taught the guy who didn't succeed here? You know what I'm saying? It's not a criticism. We're just having a discussion. But isn't that kind of intriguing? Doesn't it kind of make you go, Does me. You don't see that very often. You know? So I don't know. I think it's an interesting question that needs to be asked if indeed we're sitting here later in the week at a press conference with James Franklin. But just keep your eye in the sky today on X. Tech has grown tired of waiting, and they should. Virginia Tech is a destination, in my opinion. It's not just a job to think about the next job. This is a destination. Frank Beamer created all this. He's the most important figure in athletics in this region probably ever. This place is a destination. And I hope if it is James Franklin, and knowing how he's tried to get on at other places, I hope he's not coming here with the mind of his own mind. Oh, okay, I'm coming here because nobody else would hire me. I hope it's not that kind of thing, man. I'm not saying it will be. I'm just hopeful that it's not. Tebow says Tech screwed up when they hired Pry in the first place. Yeah, I know. Well, Whit Babcock. He put Tech in this situation. I think the name draw has led into this whole search. I do. I think there's been pressure there that was unnecessary, that it had to be a sizable name. And if Franklin is motivated, hopefully you get a Franklin that's got a chip on his shoulder. I'm going to talk to Coach Elmassian about all this. Hopefully you get a Franklin that has a chip on his shoulder because of what happened at Penn State. Still want to know what exactly happened there. It'd be nice to have some kind of intel there. Some of the players mentioned some things that kind of give you a little more insight, but it's not the whole story. But it is interesting to me that no other program wants to hire him. And I think that's another question that all these people that are salivating have to ask themselves. Why is that? Why is no other program willing to put him even in the list of candidates? You got to cover things from all angles, right? You got to look at things from all sides. But where Tech is coming from, right? I get why Tech fans are excited on the other side of it, right? Because of you're coming out of Justin Fuente and his final few years and the whole Brent Pry thing that didn't work. So I understand that side of it, but there are other elements to this, and we shall see. So I believe, and well, more importantly, not what doesn't make a damn what I believe. The industry believes that today Franklin will get the information out that he's taking the Tech job, and then Tech will then have an announcement. So keep an eye on it today. Just keep an eye on it today. It wasn't going to happen Saturday. I'm sorry. I know we had multiple reports about it happening Saturday. That was never going to happen. Not going to do that on game day. Wayne says, look for white smoke at Merriman. Yeah, I'd love to have him on. I'll make the offer. Sure. I'll call Travis and say, hey, we'd love to get him on, man. We were on YouTube. I know he's very comfortable having a camera. I would love to have him on. I asked about, I think at some point, depending on where Chesney goes, he's not really doing a lot right now because of all the speculation. I respect that. I do. I respect that. I know more things about that situation than I'm not going to betray trusts. I'm just not. I don't have to be first. I don't care about, I've never cared about any of that. I'm just trying to, what I try to do. Well, first of all, I hope what I do is entertaining and I hope you have fun. We're all just sports fans talking about it around the water cooler. And when I do get info from people that I know what the hell they're talking about, I try to pass it along. That's all. And then we can discuss and share our opinions. I wrote about it. Go read my piece in the Patriot. Nobody's opinion is wrong. Just don't make it, hate-filled and make it personal. I learned from you. Hopefully you learn from me. That's what the hell life's all about. Right? All right. Speaking of learning things, joining us now on the program is that guy. Jonathan Sweet is back with us. And we talk all the time about Pulaski County Sports Entertainment, the presenting sponsor of this show. And I'm telling you, Jonathan, by the way, welcome back, my friend. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rick. I apologize. Haven't seen my cat in 2 weeks. I get on the
it's okay.
Big Dog. Yeah, how ironic. I get on the Big Dog show, my cat shows up, right?
Hey, I have one too. Balboa Creed, you've probably seen him. He's my hunter. He'll come in and he'll jump up at me like, hey, man, what's going on? Then he'll go to bed for about 8 hours. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to be back on.
Well, I tell you what, we got a lot to talk about. I'm telling you, man, we got a lot of reaction. We read the release. Congratulations. Well, first of all, we've talked about all the things you're doing, but man, the reopening of the racetrack has caused a big stir, as you know, man. Congratulations. Can we get into how long this has been in development and what it's going to mean? Because this has excited a lot of people in the community.
Absolutely, and we're excited. We've heard from so many folks since we acquired the track. What are we going to do? What's the next iteration? What's the future of the track? And our answer was, and actually still is, we can't wait to find out ourselves. And what I mean by that is this thing continues to evolve. We brought in some star talent to work on our sports entertainment vision, and that's Tim Miller. I look forward to him popping on the show.
Yes.
Future, giving you some great detail. But he's been working on this behind the scenes ever since he came on board. We had some initial conversations as soon as we acquired the track. A lot of interest. Everyone loves to race at the Pulaski County Motorsports Park. They just love that oval track. It's a very competitive, very fast oval, and it shows really well on TV. So yeah, we're bringing it back. I can talk high level right now. We're still in negotiation, trying to fill the calendar. There's a lot of competition out there between IHRA and cars,
sure,
and whatnot. So the schedule hasn't come out. But what I can tell you is we want to race again at what has been beloved as the Motor Mile Speedway, now the Pulaski County Motorsports Park, and get our local racers back out there. Also bring in some NASCAR talent in there as well.
And that's the thing. We do have some very avid local racers too, and that was always such a place they could go up and hang out. And NASCAR will embrace things like this. This is going to be a big announcement in the sport as well, because they know about these communities and the kind of local racing and how important it is.
Absolutely. When we learned a lot with the SRX race here, and just how the big names like Tony Stewart, they've all raced on at this track. I mean, since 1952, we've had some big names race this track, and they all say the same thing. They all love the track. It's so competitive and entertaining, and they want to see it raced again. So we feel like we've got that that charge. It's incumbent upon us to try and continue racing, at least give it a college go, and we're doing that in 2026.
Well, it's great. Jonathan Sweet joining us on the program, Pulaski County's Chief Administrative Officer, Chief Economic Development Officer, as the latest announcement about Pulaski County's racetrack coming up back, and it's people are excited. It's very excited, and this is just part of the process. I mean, you've had these projects and these things that come along, and in your process, I know when you started all this, you had in mind what you wanted it to be, but things kind of come up, don't they? The offshoot of it, because you'll create one thing and then you realize, oh, here's another possibility, or someone may say this, and then you guys just get together and work on it. I love it, and I wish more operations ran like Pulaski County Sports Entertainment. To be honest with you, it's great.
I appreciate it. Rick. You know, we developed a vision. We've continued to hone that vision for sports and entertainment. But as a result, you know, Sheeler and David Hagan to then give us these assets. We just thought we would help promote them and support them and fill them. We didn't know we'd be owning and operating them. But you know, what an exciting journey that we're on in this sports entertainment space, and this is all part and parcel of something very large we're doing here in Pulaski County. You know, we're kind of like Bristol a little bit, except when we get this indoor sportsplex rolling, we're going to have something that they don't. And it is indoor competitive space, very versatile space. So we're going to have a racetrack, a drag strip, a ballpark, and then all this indoor capacity, along with professional opportunities at the lake. We've got a lot of assets here to enterprise.
It's going to become, and I know it is, and I know this is one of your goals, but it's going to be one of those national things, right? When you're somebody sitting around out west or even in another country, and they're going to say, Are you doing the Pulaski County thing this year? Right? I mean, that's the goal. Like you're mentioning Bristol, it's the same thing. It can be in a smaller, community place, but have national appeal because of everything that's into it or what it turns out to mean. I know that's got to be one of the goals.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not going to be as big as Bristol. We're not going to be as big as some of these other major markets, but we think we can be more intimate than those major markets and be more experiential than those other major markets, and hopefully have a better experience with our events and our programs here. So we're excited about how we can really carve our niche and paint our portrait on this blank canvas, that we have a lot to work with. A lot of our palette. I'm going to continue with that analogy. We've got a big palette to paint our sports entertainment vision and picture here.
Well, and we've touched on this as well. I mean, you're going to create a lot more job opportunities, a lot more career opportunities for people that they're not even thinking about right now, maybe in their own lives. But I love the interconnection. You mentioned this last time, Jonathan, with all the other counties and the communities, and how everybody's looking at this thing together. And man, that's in such a world of separation because of what media tries to do, ripping people apart all the time with politics. It's so great to see something that's unifying people for the same goal. It's great.
Yeah, we're blessed to have these assets in Pulaski County, but they're really the New River Valley's assets and Southwestern Virginia's assets. They're for everyone to enjoy, everyone to experience. And quite frankly, they're so large that it's going to take the entire region to help support these assets, both with our restaurants and our hotels, but of course, those customers that come and visit these events.
I'm getting a lot of action on the text. So people are asking, you asked Jonathan to talk more about the indoor sportsplex. All right, fair. Let's do that. We've talked about it, but people wanting to know, let's give it to them. Talk more about what this is going to mean and the plans behind the sportsplex, because this is another major announcement that you made, quite a few months earlier.
Absolutely. You look at Castle Coliseum, it's a big facility. It's got one court. You look at the Salem Civic Center or the Roanoke Civic Center, very limited with what they can do from a competitive sports standpoint. We're going to be able to enjoy, we've got 8 courts in there. We're going to be able to enjoy so much indoor volleyball, basketball, pickleball on steroids, futsal, but also wrestling, cheerleading. I mean, you name it. We could have Lego competitions. We could have a boat show. We could have a Southwest Virginia boat show where we bring in boats that support Claytor Lake and Smith Mountain Lake, and bring them in and have a big expo, an outdoor expo. I could keep going on and on with examples, but we're using this new technology, flooring, where you can drive on it. And a lot of these indoor facilities don't want you to even walk on their floor. We're going to be able to drive on our floor, as well as have a really quality playing surface. So we are going to be Virginia's largest indoor, this is the keyword, versatile sportsplex. And at the center of all of this is going to be a full service restaurant and one of the Commonwealth's largest indoor playgrounds. It's going to be a multi-million-dollar playground inside of this, in the center of this. So what that means is it's for families. It's for children and adults of all ages. It's going to have a active aging facility in there, or I should say room in there for our seniors. You name it, this thing's going to have it. A fifth of a mile indoor walking track, 110-meter sprint track, drop down batting cages, 2 indoor turf fields. But it's really all the pickleball, basketball capacity and volleyball capacity that's going to drive visitors from all over the Eastern Seaboard to compete there as we host events.
And of course, a lot of people are asking, what about, concert draws at some point, right? Maybe creating something there to get that type of entertainment back to this area more consistently, because it's kind of fallen off in recent years in other places, to be honest.
Absolutely. So you guys, I'm going to get you all excied. We haven't.
Here we go.
We haven't tested the acoustics in there, but it is so large, and we have the parking, and we're actually creating a stage backdrop, and we've got a green room and VIP and all that stuff designed in there to be able to host these types of things. But we also have Calfee Park for intimate outdoor concerts. We have the Pulaski County Motorsports Park that has hosted a variety of talent over the years in outdoor concert. So yeah, we're going to be doing some entertainment. I don't know if it's going to be indoor or outdoor, but we also have of course the New River Valley Fairgrounds is in Pulaski County. We own that asset. We work with the Fair Association to put on events as well. So we're going to be known for events. We can't do Metallica at Lane Stadium. But I promise but we're going to be doing some things that I think our community is going to be really appreciative of.
Someone else is asking, I think we talked about this last time, but the possibility at some point VHSL events may circle back around here, right? I mean, we used to have them down at the Dedman Center. They moved out of the Dedman Center around the Radford complexes. So I would think that would be something else that could eventually, you might get a phone call or two about that in the future.
Absolutely. We're doing VHSL at Calfee Park. Absolutely, with baseball. We're going to be looking at NCAA as well. We've done that before. We're going to look at that in a big way. That is, it's a world-class asset. That's one of the nicest. It is the top rated small ballpark in the country. So for 3 years, it's been rated that. So yeah, we're going to be doing some VHSL stuff. The indoor, we don't have the ability to do indoor track at the VHSL level,
right?
But it will be a training facility. I'm just going to warn everyone, Pulaski County will start winning state championships again because we're going to have just a feeder program. And I think it's going to elevate all of the region's athletics because they're not going to have to go to Knoxville or to South Carolina or Spooky Nook in Pennsylvania to compete in tournaments. They're going to really have opportunities to compete in some high level tournaments right here in their back door. So it'll elevate the whole New River Valley. But Pulaski County, we're going to have an advantage. We're going to be able to use that 7 days a week for the benefit of our citizens.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned Calfee and the concerts. When I did the Pulaski Yankee games, the last years they were the affiliate in Major League Baseball. Yankee people would come up there and they would talk about how awesome the park was. And I remember specifically talking to one of the administrative people. They say this would be a great place for concerts. And here you are, and I was thinking, yeah, well, I knew that a few years ago. I was told that a few years ago, and you guys have already thought about that. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just we think our niche is going to be intimacy when it comes to these events. It's smaller events that you're up, closer to the action or closer to the entertainment, and it be a more experiential event than some of these larger things that you see at Charlotte or Roanoke even.
Morris is saying, hey, you know what? I want to buy anything this guy is selling. I love it. I love it. Good Lord. I want him on my sales team. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I try to tell people, if you need to jumpstart your money, just hang out with Jonathan Sweet on Monday. He'll get you ready for the week. So,
well, speaking of sales, this is what's cool is we're now putting together some investment packets where you're going to be able to do some really big advertising, marketing through, and even you can even do some sales as well at these events. But we've got the motorsports park, the dragway, Calfee Park, and then the Sportsplex. That we're going to have over 300,000 people a year go through that. There's going to be a lot of advertising opportunities, not just sponsorship, but advertising, stagnant.
Yeah.
As well as sponsoring events. You guys know how it goes at the Speedway, right? Big billboards.
Yeah, sure.
But we're also going to be doing a lot of digital stuff as well. So we're going to really beef up the marketing opportunities with all of these assets, and then there's going to be a lot of bang for the buck when it comes to marketing and advertising in Pulaski County.
How much have you drawn, Jonathan, on your love, your whole life centered around sports and understanding how things work? And I know this kind of drives you as well, right? Because you've always been involved with it as you are, even more so now. But when you were growing up, that passion that you've always had about sports in general.
Yeah, it's part of my DNA, and it's helped shape me as a competitor. I bring that competition to public service. I really want to have the best team and have the best product in public service. And I'd like to think that, we've built one of the best teams in the Commonwealth. I've played basketball, football, and ran track in high school. And that just really helped shape me physically, but also from a competitive mental standpoint. You get fatigued in public service just like you get fatigued in a fourth quarter football game, right? You just got to keep pushing through.
Yeah.
And we see the goal line in Pulaski County, and we're gonna push our way right into that end zone. Even though this is a big challenging space and competitive space, we think we've taken the right approach and have the right game plan to be successful. Then I've got 3 kids, and they are athletes, and they've been doing travel sports, and I've been taking notes everywhere I've ever traveled.
Sure.
Yeah, whether it's been Spooky Nook, which is one of the biggest facilities in the country, down to the event centers in Knoxville. What are they doing well? What I've done differently? Spectrum, we used to go to Spectrum in Roanoke, right?
Yeah.
Post COVID, how do you design a facility for comfort and for fluidity of transition with events and games, etc. We've taken all that into consideration. We've got a great engineering team, a great construction team, and a great county team that we think we've considered it all. And when you see this facility, it's going to blow your mind with the attention to detail that we've been able to incorporate into the operations of and the logistics of the facility.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, congratulations on everything as this thing continues to build. And we'll get Tim on, talk more specifically about what's going on with the racetrack. And thank you again for your support here on the program. Everything, man. This is so cool.
I'm challenging Rick. I'm drag racing you. We're drag racing.
Yes, I'm there, baby. Yeah, I'm there. What will we drive? We're going to have actual drag cars? Probably not.
No,
we're going to
probably not. Probably some street cars, but it'll be entertaining. I'm working on that. You wait. You're going to be one of the guys that
I'd love it. Yeah. It's been going to sign a lot of waivers there for me. Yeah. Okay. That'll be good. That'll be good. All right. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'll see you down at Dedmond soon.
Look forward to it, Rick. Take care.
All right, man. Take care. Thanks for coming on. That's Jonathan Sweet, Pulaski County Chief's Administrative Officer, Chief Economic Development Officer. And Paul, we'll get it. Yeah, I'll talk to Jonathan about that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll talk to him about the money and all that stuff. But good stuff, man. Good stuff. About that guy. I don't know if he ever rests. I don't think he ever sleeps. Good stuff. Thanks for all the interest. I know it's cool, isn't it? It isn't. All right. We're heading into the third segment here on the program. And what a great way to top it off with this gentleman, huh? He is Coach Elmo, Phil Elmassian joined us. Coach, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Rick.
Man, there's a lot going on, huh?
I got your text. I woke up at 4:30, and that's when I usually get up.
I was texting.
All of a sudden, I see a text at 5 o'clock. I said, Christ, am I working for Coach Saban again? Damn.
Coach, we need you to come down to the office. We got some film we need to break down. Yeah.
Oh, no, some recruit I lost or didn't know about. No, it's usually more so. The butt chewings were recruiting was the two things you did not want to be. Excuse me. You did not want to be the D coordinator, and you did not want to be the recruiting coordinator.
Ooh, that's true.
It gets ugly.
Well, some things I want to touch on. First, let's get right to it. It looks like all the winds are blowing now towards James Franklin finally saying yes to Virginia Tech after this long process because all the other options have evaporated. If he wants to coach, it's going to be in Blacksburg. You know him a little bit. You've dealt with him. You've had some personal interaction. You and I both agree we're not sure what happened at Penn State there for that separation to come at such a weird time of the year after being in the playoff. But I know you feel like, we know he can come in here and turn one thing we do know, he's going to turn the talent level over in a heartbeat, right?
I would hope so. That's where he's going to earn 3/4 of his salary besides the staff that he's bringing with him. The next most important is what quarterback's he going to bring? Where's the quarterback? That's the number one. You look at probably Brent Pry's biggest demise was he had Chiron Jones, and for the last 3 years, who else has been a quarterback besides Pop Watson? And I know he beat a really bad Virginia team, not to take anything away from him, but, Pop Watson hasn't been in any games. That Chiron Jones has taken every snap.
Right.
And you haven't heard about anybody else in the waiting. So they're going to have to go portal, or they're going to have to bring in a high school freshman in January and give him the reins. That's the number next. If they bring him in, okay, who's your quarterback? Who are you getting him from? If I'm in that press conference, that's my first. And then the second is, who's going to be your D coordinator? Who's going to be your O-line? We've gone over my priorities, I think, in this business, that where the coaching staff is more critical to the success.
Yeah. Are we at the point, Coach, where the money is so big? Because one of the things I ask is, okay, his protege failed here, right? The guy that has been with him since Vanderbilt, who said numerous times everything he learned about coaching came from James Franklin. Well, he failed here. It's interesting dynamic that guy would take this job that didn't, that fired his protege.
Well, the good news, bad news is Brent didn't have success here, but the good news is for James Franklin, he probably knows as much about Virginia Tech from the coach's perspective than Bud Foster. Brent Pry's I'm sure they've had a lot of conversation, and not necessarily a lot, but a long conversation of what are the pluses and what are the minuses. And can you win the ACC here? How can you win the ACC here? The plan of winning the ACC, and then Brent probably shared with him what he did not do well. If he had it over again, if he had a do-over, this is what I would do differently. That'd be one question I would ask him. Okay. That conversation, I'm sure, was pretty extensive. So if he takes a job, I'm sure Brent had way more positives than negatives, because I've had people call me. I've had Jimmy Grove call me, like when I was at Nebraska or certain places. And, well, Phil, what do you think? They've called me, and I tell them, no, don't do this. It's not what you think it is from the expectation standpoint. So, I'm sure Brent would, if he told him, hey, this is not where you want to be, you have a better chance of go to ESPN, take a year off. That's my outtake on it. Not because I got fired, but here are my reasons. I'm sure they've had that conversation. So if he takes a job, there must have been a lot of positives coming from Brent, more so than from Bud or Bruce Arians.
Well, these are the kind of questions I hope get asked, right? Did he feel like this was the year he needed to go ahead and find another power job? Because, Coach, this is unprecedented to see this many gigs come open. We're not going to see this for a long time. And maybe since I know he's been interested in other places, that he got no traction, that maybe he feels like if he sits for TV a year, maybe it wouldn't be as advantageous as he might think in 2026.
Yeah. Well, two things changed, Rick. Big, huge. Number one, the NIL. That is the power of the money people. They've always had the power, but this is between the power of the player in the portal and the power of the money people with NIL. This, you as a coach, you can have a great contract, make a lot of money, but 2 or 3 years, the percent. If you can stay 5 years in a program, that to me is phenomenal. It used to be about 10. 10, you almost wear out your welcome in 10.
Yeah. Like John Madden used to talk about. Yeah.
Now it's anywhere from 3 to 5 and no more and no less. So between the NIL, the portal, and now the championship playoff, but and I'm going to digress a little bit, but I'm going to put the importance of these three things that are reason why. Because a year ago they said, there won't be a lot of coaching changes because the money, the contracts and the money, they're not going to be able to raise the money. Well, they got the money.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's out the window. And what's changed is the NIL, the portal, and the national championship picture. The more they expand it, there's going to be more pressure on coaches. Now you're judged on, it's not just, hey, let's go to the Independence Bowl in 1993 and you think we went to the Super Bowl and it changed the whole program. Those days are over. You got to get in that 12. How can you get into the 12? And you got to do it with a quarterback, offensive line, the portal, NIL money in those areas. And then you may have a chance because you got to win your championship. And they say the ACC is the easiest path. Well, it may be the easiest path, but think about it. There's only going to be one ACC school in. They all want Miami in, which is a joke. Miami's the 11th at a 3-2 ACC record with a chance to lose their next 2 ACC games, maybe, whatever. That's a joke. That to me is the ultimate. That's the press and the Miami. Just slap the U off the helmet. They're a 3-2 ACC team. You can bash the conference, but they're a 3-2 ACC team.
That's right.
So here's Virginia and Georgia Tech. Whoever wins the championship, they're in. Well, that's one shot. Well, if you're an SEC coach, you got 5 shots.
That's right.
If you're a Big Ten coach, you got 4 shots. And, so when you look at, they say, well, the easiest path is the ACC. No, it's not.
That's right.
Because let me tell you, years ago, Texas and Oklahoma, and I truly believe this, if they never expanded the playoffs, if they stayed at 4, I don't know if they'd have left the Big 12. They would have, but not as fast.
Right.
They're sitting there thinking, if I'm a Big 12 team, if I've got a loss or 2 losses, I'm not in. If I'm an SEC team with 2 losses, once they expanded, I'm in. Let's go now. Buy it out now because it will all pay itself out. I'm still talking about Texas with the 3 losses potentially being
I know.
So you what's the easiest path? The SEC is the easiest path.
You're right.
If you think Florida would be, hey, I'm going to Florida. Okay? If I don't do it, they don't have to fire me in 3 years. As long as you give me, I'll do whatever you want. Give me the money, but I'll do it however you want because it should take me 3 at Florida. And
yeah, you're right.
Tech, how many years is it going to take?
And that's what the SEC and the Big Ten have been fighting for with this unofficial alliance they have, right, to keep expanding the playoff. It'll get to 16. It'll get to 16, and what they're going to do at that point is say, okay, we're going to get 6 out of the SEC. Big Ten, you can have 4, maybe it's 5, whatever it is, for more money, more exposure. And the other 6, you guys can take care of itself. But you're right. You can be the 4th place team in the SEC and have all these ridiculous polls that say we're stronger than 3 losses. 2 losses in ACC, you're done. Yeah.
Two-loss SEC teams going to get in way before a 1-loss ACC team.
Correct.
Way before. Non-conference championship excluded. So, and getting back to Brent Pry, one thing you kind of stimulated my mind here. And again, when I going to William Mary's kind of really screwed me up. My mind works. I wish I just went to Ferrum. I think I'd have been better off grounded.
Right.
William Mary, all of a sudden, oh my God, I got to think now. All right. One thing with Brent Pry, I don't know the numbers of years, but when he was at Vanderbilt, that's the only D coordinator he had, I believe. And when he went to Penn State for the number of years till he got the Virginia Tech job, then here's my question. And this is a question, not a statement. When I went before press conferences, I used to tell the press, I said, I will be here forever and answer every question you have. I refuse to answer a statement. And if you don't know the difference, I'll let you know.
That's right. That's
okay?
great. Yeah.
Statements I cannot answer. I'll answer your questions. So put it in the form of a question, please. So this is my question, not necessarily a statement. Manny Diaz, 1 year. Now he takes the Duke job, head coaching job. Now, if he stayed there, he may be the head coach at Penn State.
That's
under
true.
The circumstances.
That's true. Yeah, under the circumstances.
And he's there 1 year. Goes to Duke head coaching job. Good, professional advancement. Got it. Here's my question. I'm watching the Clemson-Louisville game, which is like going to the dentist with no Novocaine. That's the worst. Why they had on TV is beyond them. I'm
right.
telling you. So, Tom, I forgot that Tom Allen was the D coordinator for Clemson. Well, guess where he was before that? He'd been fired in Indiana as the head coach. Okay.
Right.
He had Penix as a quarterback.
He had Michael Penix, right?
9 games. Penix goes to Washington. He wins. They fire him.
Program's over. Yeah.
That's how important your quarterback is.
Yep.
Okay. So where does he go from Indiana? Penn State.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 year. He leaves, goes to Clemson. Why? Why would you leave Penn State and go to Clemson?
That's a great question. He could probably answer. He could answer this question that we've been asking. What is really going on with James Franklin? That's a great point.
If I'm Bud Foster, I'm calling Tom Allen.
Absolutely.
That's what as a D coordinator, Bud Foster, Tom Allen's taking his call.
Okay? Oh, there's no question. Absolutely. Easy. First ring. First ring.
Sit there and I'm going to say, and I'm not going to say, Tom Allen, I'm going to make my own decision, but I need some information. Okay? The better the information. It doesn't have to be positive.
Right.
It's just like a football player. They all have strengths and weaknesses. I want to know what weaknesses I can deal with because I want the guy. I want to sign this kid. I want to sign this coach. We all have strengths and weaknesses. Trust me. Joe Tiller held up my resume in front of the staff and said, "No effing way am I hiring this guy." But I got the job. Okay. So if I'm Bud, I'm calling Tom Allen. And I'm not asking him why he left, but I want to know, basically why'd you leave after a year? That I want to know. Then he's got Jim Knowles, gets him from Ohio State. 1 year.
1 year.
He's had 3 coordinators in 3 years, defensive coordinators. Now, Manny Diaz, I can understand. Going to Duke as the head coach.
Sure.
But going from Penn State to Clemson.
Great point, man.
I'm calling Jim Knowles.
It's a great point. I mean,
that's it. I mean,
something it gives Tech fans something to think about. Those of us think this is going to be the decision. You got to think about these other things, man.
You better unturn a lot of rocks and ask the tough. Nick Saban used to have a thing at the back of it. I could show it to you. I put them on files, threw most of them out, but I kept most of his stuff on the recruiting. It went through the players, all the height, weights, the intangibles by position, how to grade them. On the back, tough questions to the coaches, to the coach, not necessarily the players, but to the coaches. And not only the coaches, find the best coach in the league. If it's not his coach, the next best coach, and ask the tough question. Because the opponent's coaches are going to know everything about the kid.
Well, that's right. That's right.
And they'll tell you things that you're not going to hear. And not that they're bad, and not even the bad things are good. I just want to know everything. I need to know everything. I need to know the whys, and again, I'm not making a statement towards it. And because if he takes that job and they hire him, attaboy, the biggest hire they've ever had since Bill Dooley left North Carolina to go to Virginia Tech.
I'm going to ask you an unfair question because I want you to.
If it's a statement, I'll tell you the difference.
I'm going to propose it in this. I'm going to propose it in the form of a question.
News. You're not the press, and it's an honor being on.
Correct.
I don't want this to be the last time you ever talk to me. So you put it however you want to put it.
Here's my biggest sticking point about throw everything else out. What we think about James Franklin. What happened a year after the playoff? After 2 games that went against you, that you decided as an academic administration, it's already, money's not just, I know you're in the Big Ten, but what made the boosters, the rich people up there, the passionate people, the AD, if you had to be convinced, the president, we're done. $50 million, come see us in 48 hours. We got it. Let him go. I need that question answered. Tech may not. Maybe they've gotten it answered. Here's the unfair question, Coach. What do you think happened to prompt that action by Penn State? Because on the surface, it makes no sense a year after he had them in position for a national championship.
If it was, I've got some personal / professional friendships. Some are still coaching. Some are not. A lot of them aren't. That I could call up and say, hey, what the hell happened? That's all I need. When I interviewed Bud Foster at Virginia Tech, because Frank wanted me to, I asked him one question. Bud, you guys were good on defense. A couple of you guys were really good. What happened? I'm not going to go into the answer.
Sure.
I would pose that question to Tom Allen and Jim Knowles. Not to him, not to his agent.
No, not to Franklin or Sexton.
And not to anybody else. And the money people. Because they're going to tell you what? He didn't win the big game.
Correct.
They've already, that's, what do they call it? Their point that they're making. He didn't win the big game. Okay. That's what they're pitching. And they want you to buy that. All right. So what you're asking is very legitimate. And hopefully, you and me don't count.
I know.
We're not doing the hiring and we're not doing the firing.
Exactly.
But hopefully, Bud Foster can get on the phone with Tom Allen and ask him. Bud Foster get on the phone, because that doesn't mean Bud Foster can hang the phone up and go, this guy's full of crap. This is all self-serving. He's not giving me what happened. He's putting it in his perspective. Not necessarily what happened,
right?
But somewhere along the line, it's just like when Brent Pry, when he lost that Old Dominion game, he didn't get fired because he lost the game. He got fired because he lost a team.
Correct.
And that didn't happen on Saturday. That happened Monday, Tuesday. You don't just go out on Saturday and make a decision. I'm not playing well. I don't like my coach.
That's a great point. So, it builds up. It's built up, hasn't it? It's been going in that direction.
As soon as that Vanderbilt game was over with, whether that's Sunday meeting or Monday, whatever the first meeting was, that team was lost. And the practices were a reflection of a lost football team with everybody watching on Saturday. So somewhere along the line at Penn State, he didn't lose a game. He lost a team. I've done that. The 94 team, I'll be very transparent and honest with you. I lost the 94 team the 2 weeks. I was taking things very personal. And let me tell you, that Gator Bowl performance was on me. Because between the Virginia game, the frustration of losing the Virginia game, and defensively weren't playing well. I thought the program was going back to 92. That's what I thought, and it wasn't. I made a mistake. I had a poor job of reading the defensive players, and not lost the team, but we lost the defensive players. They didn't quit. They never stopped playing because we won the second half in the Gator Bowl, and that was my challenge to them. But I've been there. I've lost a unit. Been there. And I know what I did wrong. I know exactly. If I had to do it over again, I would change it, no question. So somewhere he lost a team. Whether it was coach to coordinator, coach to player, it's a triangle or a circular firing squad, however you want to put it. But there's something in that. And maybe, hey, good, you did it for Penn State. Now learn from it. Don't do it at Virginia Tech.
That's a great point. And that's what I'm hoping we get. And I keep thinking, man, you say something that you
said
something.
Give me the Vanderbilt James Franklin.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I keep thinking about that. It's a great point, man.
Give me the Vanderbilt James Franklin. Because I know what Brent Pry, but listen, I coached against Vanderbilt for 2 years in a row when Brent was the coordinator. They had no business having that record, but the tailback was all SEC. The quarterback was really good. And defensively, were they great? No, but they were good enough to win 8 and 9 games at Vanderbilt in the SEC. And when he left, usually you want to leave a program that's better, but a program like Vanderbilt that you turn around when you leave them, it ain't better. Because it wasn't good when you took the job. And it's not going to be better when you leave the job. You got to win and get out. Now with the portal and NIL, you can probably maybe able to sustain it a little more, at Vanderbilt because you go get the right people.
Sure. Like he did, like Clark Lee did. Yeah.
Yeah. So to stay to Clark Lee, you need to leave Vanderbilt now. If it was 10 years ago, you need to leave Vanderbilt now. Because even at LSU, you're not sustaining it at LSU, not to the standards. Once you raise that bar, keeping that standard's harder.
Yeah.
So I 100% agree with you. I think you go through. It's just like when I wanted to. I'm watching I think I've told you this. I hate repeating myself, and this is where my concussion syndrome sets in.
Not at all.
When I'm recruiting, I'm at UMass, and this big 6'5", 300-pounder came across my desk, and I put him on and brought the strength coach in. I go, "What do you think?" He watched a couple of plays. I go, "Can you work with this guy?" He goes, "Yeah." And I think he's more of an offensive lineman, and he was. And next thing I know, I'm watching a Monday night NFL game. And you know how they do the Monday nights? They show the player and where they're from, or the Sunday night game. He goes, "Elijah Wilkerson, UMass." I go, "What? We beat Afghanistan for this kid." Nobody's recruiting this kid. He's in his 11th year in the NFL, starting in the Atlanta Falcons. And what I did, I called the opposing coach up, and I asked him, "Give me the strengths. Give me the weakness. What do you see?" And they said, "Well, he had some issues off the field, blah, 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 blah." A lot of people shied away from it, but take him. They told me, take him. So I'm going to call Tom Allen. I'm going to call Jim Knowles. Hey, what happened in the last 2 years? Maybe.
I love that. You beat Afghanistan for Wilkerson.
Ain't nobody. I mean, it's either that or the Army. Ain't no one recruiting the kid.
That's funny.
Nobody. Zero offers. Zero. But
good stuff.
So, if you're saying Franklin doesn't have any offers, or maybe he does, which we don't know, but still, I'm going to go find out. I'm not, but here's the other key, Rick. Okay. How many players are coming to Virginia Tech from Penn State? How many signees are coming to Virginia Tech from Penn State? If he gets none of them, I would question that.
So that's the next thing to look for, right? Like immediately, if there's an announcement this week, today, and then they do, and he's there in place. Keep an eye on that thing. Is that the first thing you look for? Yeah. Okay.
If he's Ofra, and if he knows he's going to be Ofra, don't even ask him. Don't even find out. Don't even get into that. Let's go. Move on. You stay at Penn State. Maybe he's told him, hey, stay there and blah, 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 finish it. Who knows? I've had that. Listen, I was at Ferrum Junior College with Coach Norton. Coach Norton was awesome. We got a kid named Joe Happy played at Wake Forest as a redshirt freshman. His dad played in the SEC at Kentucky. He always wanted to play in the SEC. He drives in his car from Winston-Salem, comes to Ferrum Junior College in the summer. I'm there. I'm coaching. The summer of 79. Says, Coach, I'm going to leave Wake Forest and go play in the SEC. He's going to give up his scholarship to go to junior college and take bus rides and eat ham and cheese sandwiches for pregame meal. Okay? Wake Forest, leave. Coach, you know what Coach Norton told him? Go back. Go back. You don't want to do this. The kid, he's driving his car. He goes, now I know I'm going. 6'4", 250, 60-pound kid, Wake Forest, coming to Ferrum Junior College, and the head coach says, go back. He was the starting center for Georgia when Herschel was a freshman, when they played Notre Dame and won the national championship. So he reached all his goals. So it's like if Jim Franklin calls a Penn State player or gets in touch, Franklin may just say, hey, stay there. You made a commitment, stay there. That'd be the right thing. Back in the day, that would be the right thing to do. But today in the portal, there are no scruples. There is no integrity.
There aren't. Rules are gone. Yeah.
Come on down and let me see how many prospects he can flip or how many top 5 kids in the state of Virginia will come.
That's right.
Could he have flipped Travion Henderson from Hopewell, from Ohio State? Could he do that? Find out how good he is.
Right. All right. Well, listen, we know how good you are, Coach. Thanks, man. We appreciate you as always. Great stuff, brother.
Hey, just those 5 o'clock texts scare the crap out of me.
Well, I'll talk to Coach Saban. He said just ring you up at 5 a.m. You always respond.
Well, that's my insecurities coming in. I thought you could take me. I'm fired. I no longer have a job. Been there many a time. All right, boss. Have a good one. Keep those hoops going, baby.
I'll try, brother. Yeah, we can get back on track tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens in South Carolina. So, all right, man. Good to see you, Coach. Take care.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Great stuff. I did. True story. I shot him a text at 5 a.m. this morning. That's a true story. I knew he'd be up. He's always thinking football. All right, great stuff today. Great way to start the week. It's good to be back here after a weekend at the Greenbrier. Thanks to Family Fencing once again, sponsor of our studio. Thanks so much to Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic, sponsoring our chat room. The Ready Set Fund, check out ReadySetFund.com. Thanks to them. Professional Door Incorporated, Commercial Garage Door, sponsor of our text line, 391-0788. If anybody wants a T-shirt, hit me up. $20 if I can get them to you, $28 if I have to ship them. And I'm going to keep it at $28, I hope, if I have to ship, more than 1 or 2 or whatever it might be. National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of BDST. Ryan Pry, the attorney in Radford at 701 West Main Street. We'll have our BDST fan question of the week coming up here tomorrow. Little River Heating and Air, thanks to Charles Lee over in Christiansburg, 1095 Radford Street. We had Jonathan Sweet on. Thanks so much. Presenting sponsor, Pulaski County Sports Entertainment. Thanks a lot, Tim Miller, for all you do. Go see Harvey's GM for your next vehicle. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. Thanks to the NRV Super Bowl. Thanks to the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce for all you do. And everybody else, thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf. Thanks to you, the best listening audience, watching audience on YouTube. Thanks to Jermaine Ferrell today, Jonathan Sweet, Phil Elmassian. We'll come back tomorrow. Maybe we're talking about some big news that may happen today. We'll see. Keep your eye on the sky today. More importantly, follow X. Follow X. That's where the news will break first. If indeed, on this action day, as I was told, as the industry expects, he will say he's coming to Blacksburg. We shall see. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. I hope you have a great Monday. And we'll talk again here tomorrow, Lord willing, here before we head out to Columbia, South Carolina with Radford Hoops. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest.